All right. Okay. So what'd you
Woo!
think of that video there, Goldy? They did a hell of a job of that, didn't they?
Now, did Preston do that video?
Preston, Charles Redmond, and Piers Austin, which you've been on his podcast, Piers, I believe.
I'm so impressed. Your thing is just amazing right from the get go, Alan. I'm so
Awesome, awesome.
excited.
Okay, so let me introduce everything going on here. Okay, so this is the third installment. You are the third guest on my podcast, Goldie, with
Woo!
Get Funked, baby, on the NWA Podcast Network. And I got to tell you, so far, the first two episodes have been awesome. I don't know if you got to catch me, Goldie, but I'm looking so forward to this tonight because by far, even though you and I hadn't been the closest over the last 20 years, you're one of my favorite people to talk with. And I love I was on your podcast a couple times with me and Lenny. And I just love talking to you, man. You're one of my favorite people in the whole world. And just a little note here, Goldie was sick and she just got out of the hospital. So she coughs a lot. You're just going to have to excuse her because I'm going to excuse her because she can do whatever she wants on my podcast.
I appreciate that. And I'm sharing as you're talking right now, I'm just quick posting all of the live links right now. So
awesome.
Just keep on talking, and I'm almost done on my
so Goldie, if for people that don't know Goldilocks, she's multi-talented. She's on TV. She's done all kinds of stuff. But I'll let her explain all that. Introduce herself. But like I said, Goldilocks right here. She's one of my favorite people in the world. So go ahead and take the floor, Goldie.
Oh, Alan, I'm just so honored that you would ask me. And anytime that you need somebody, have me back because, you've been so great about coming on my show and being so gracious with your time. And, you were so sweet saying, yeah, I know you're under the weather. And the last thing I would ever do, as long as I can, here's my rule. If I can still stand, and I don't know if you share this, if I can still stand. Now, if I have no voice, then I can't sing. But if I can still stand and not either shit my pants or vomit all over myself, the show will go on. So I'm just happy to be here. But I would never cancel on somebody. I'm not a pussy like some of these kids are these days. No.
I got you. Well, I mean, we kind of grew up the same way then because I'm the same way. I mean, my dad, I learned from my dad. He cut his finger off literally one day at work. Went to the hospital, got it stitched up, and then went back to work. There's not too many people that do that anymore, let alone back then. So
somebody's saying that I'm working you. I smell an angle. No, bro.
Yeah, that's the kingpin, Angel Medina. He's on the NWA Podcast Network as well, but he was one of the ECW originals, the Baldies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a good guy. I just met him through this podcast and stuff, and there's Piers.
Absolutely. Yeah, two good guys, but that first guy can kiss my ass.
Kid Romeo, baby's on. Yeah, Kid Romeo. Sam Roman, baby, he's joining us tonight. You know Kid Romeo through TNA, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you got some good company tonight. Good company.
Man, that's right. Everybody's tuning in. So I'll let Goldie tell a little bit about herself for those watching it. I can't believe somebody wouldn't know who Goldilocks was, but go ahead and tell them who you are, Goldie.
Nice try, Alan. Nice try. Well, thanks, Kingpin. I met Alan in thank you, Sam. Alan in 2002 when TNA first started, and you were there right from the get-go, right?
Yeah, right from the get-go, yeah.
Yep. I'm going to wipe my nose. Deal with it. I'm in my own house. COVID-free. Screw you. So I met Alan and then his tag team partner later, Lenny, and we became friends, and these are just good guys. And Lenny was from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Robbinsdale. Yep. So kind of cut from the same cloth, but I had a great run with Impact Wrestling. I like to toot my own horn. I got to put myself over and say that Trinity and I were the original TNA knockouts just because there wasn't really anything going on. And I did photos back then, as I do now, the factory photography. Check it out online. I shoot lots of great people. And I started shooting photos of all of the wrestlers and the workers. And we started doing calendar stuff. And then the next thing you know, they're like, we should do a knockout calendar. And so I shot Trinity's photos. We had some bums on the beach, literally in Venice Beach. When she visited, they shot our photos. We started that out. And then after that, they started doing more things and calling it the knockout division, which was because I remember WWE had like a divas thing, but it was kind of like stinky wanky. We didn't want to do that, but I've got to like put myself over and say that it was Trinity and I that literally started that whole movement. So I'm very
that was
very
awesome.
proud.
Trinity was also like a stunt woman too, right?
Trinity was a stunt person before she was in wrestling, and then decided that she could do wrestling. You got to look up Stephanie Finocchio. Just like she was Jennifer Garner's. What up,
What's
Allan?
up, Low Rider?
Hey. She was Jennifer Garner's body double. Can you believe that?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
What's up? Big Josh knows what time it is.
That's right. He knows who Goldilocks is.
Big Josh listens to music, and I appreciate Big Josh streaming Goldilocks early music. It's always good.
Sweet. He said you were the best knockout. Female knockout.
Right. He's probably the only one that he knows, but that's really cool. So yeah, Allan did the wrestling gimmick for quite a while. I'm still in it on Russo's brand. Yeah. Doing the Goldie's Closet podcast. You were on it, hysterical. You've got to look up those episodes on Goldie's Closet, Russo's brand with Allan.
And Lenny. By the way, Goldie, I'm still not wearing any pants.
Thank God. What a night it would be if anybody was wearing. I think a lot of people don't wear pants anymore with all the Zooms.
Why would you?
Just put on a man diaper and show up for the party. That's what I mean.
I'm not even wearing a man diaper,
Yeah, that's too much for me, Allan.
But I want to thank you for the background you have here, Goldie. That's awesome.
Thank you. You like that? Yeah.
Kind of shows you my baldness.
Well, that's not what I was going for. I just was going for the attitude.
No, that's awesome.
So did that. Originally, I was supposed to be in wrestling to be a backstage interviewer and to sing occasionally on the show, which I did both. And then shit hit the fan one night with Eric Watts just being himself, and he made some off-color comment about me leaving a shoe under his bed the night before or something, and like just the look on my face of like pure disgust and terror led the network and the promotion to say, all right, now you're Eric Watts' girlfriend, and the angle is you're going to manage him. And I had no idea what was going on, and hated by many, I'm sure, but I just kind of went with the flow. And and still kept going with the music, which I'm doing now more of. So
and unfortunately, that's how some of the wrestling business gets started. People in the business, they don't really know too much about it, and they just kind of throw them in something.
Sure, and I wish that I would have paid more attention or asked more questions or just had my priorities straight. But sometimes when you're young and dumb, you don't. You look back, retrospect, and wish you could do it again. So now, if I'm sick and pooping my pants and somebody says, come on my podcast, I'm going to go, my priorities are different these days.
Well, I'm glad you made it on, and I'm sorry you're sick. I'm glad you're feeling better.
I'm almost feeling better. I'm going to fake it.
You get snot running down your nose, just keep it. It's a good visual.
A good vibe. Yeah. And then speaking of that, like the Dups, which were early on the Impact.
The Dups. Those guys were cool.
The Dups always had some sort of jizz or drip or dip dripping down their face. And
now that was one of them, or the Murdoch guy, right?
Yeah,
That's in NWA now.
And he's doing so well. And I'm so excited for him. And I'm just so proud to see people, living their best life and doing what they were born to do. It makes me really happy.
When we first started the TNA, the first show we did was it was in was it Mississippi or
it was Huntsville, Alabama.
Huntsville, Alabama. That's right. Now all the guys that were on that, I mean, you had Ken Shamrock there. I don't know if you remember Jerry Toot, the guy that passed away. He actually wrestled. He actually wrestled Ken Shamrock, I think, in that final deal when they had everybody in the battle royal type deal.
Okay. And
he was going to wrestle for the title and stuff. But some of the guys there, like Murdoch, there was a lot of guys there that I never met before. And when we got to TNA, it was kind of crazy. They were everybody was just running around. Everybody's telling you got to be here, you got to be there, you got to do this. And stuff it was pretty organized for as many guys as they had there.
Was it?
It was more organized than some WCW shows. I'll tell you that much.
That's terrifying.
And it is terrifying, but and a lot of the guys that worked in WCW, so they're used to that kind of atmosphere. So maybe that's why it worked out so well. But what I'm saying is I didn't get a chance to know a lot of the guys like I would have liked to, because I see them now, and I'm always, and this isn't always the case in wrestling, Golden, you know this. I am happy to see anybody that I know is a good person actually keep thriving and making money in this business and doing what they love to do. because it doesn't happen too often. Like with AJ Styles, I
Yes.
knew AJ Styles, but I wasn't great friends with him. You know, we talked about football here and there. You know, we never hung out though. Even when we were in Australia for 2 weeks, we didn't hang out. And you know, I'm happy to see him with all his success he's having, and he's making a lot of money. You know, and he's happy, and you know, I'm happy for him. And you know, a lot of guys, you know, they're kind of jealous. They don't like that when guys like, you know, AJ, you know, thrive in the business. But he worked his ass off, and he deserves to be where he's at.
I don't know how people could be jealous. I think you need an attitude adjustment. Then, like if you're envious or jealous of somebody, then you're just not in a good headspace. You're not in a place of abundance. You don't know about the law of attraction. And you don't know about God.
Yeah,
That's just not how things are supposed to be. I get a whiff of jealousy that comes my way, and I have trained myself to just say, nah, stop right now. And then I adjust and I pivot over to, all right, what are they doing that you can do? Can you give them a call and wish them congratulations, and then gently ask them, like, can I get in on it? Or how can I, unless if they're an asshole and you don't want to do that. But like, you know, I have seen things working and just thought, well, shit, what's that? Like, it's almost like an awakening. Like, well, I better get off my ass and do something now. I better try harder. I better pound the pavement harder. I better make more calls. And it's like, I think God does that stuff intentionally to like woke people up so that, you know, somebody's doing something. They're like, AJ, that just shit didn't just fall into his lap.
Yeah, no.
Oh, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He always made it like, first and foremost, that he was grateful to the Lord above. He talked about his faith. He talked about being kind to people. He walked the walk. He was good to everybody. He was never a jerk to anyone. And like,
no, I've never seen him be a jerk.
When you walk the walk, if you follow the golden rules and you're just good to people, like good things are going to come. And when you say, well, look at that guy, he's a real dick. You know, how is he getting ahead? Well, he'll get his someday. Yeah. You know, like, the best thing that you can do is look at somebody else's success and say, what are they doing that I can do? Or what doors have been opened that I could go knocking on, or windows to open, and learn from it. But man, when I see people doing well, I'm always like, what can we collaborate on? What can we collab on? You know, what can we do? Like, you know, the video that we'll talk about in a little while, like I couldn't wait to have you be in it, and Storm come and Chase, and like any of my friends that would want to be in it. It's a great cause, suicide prevention. Who would have saw COVID coming along? It's mental health awareness. I'm losing my mind even now with what's going on in the world. It's like, I need that video to remind me, like, don't take yourself out, Goldy. It's good stuff. And it's like, I couldn't wait to have all my friends in it. If you guys,
Preston here showing a little bit of the clip right now, since you were talking about it.
Yeah, it's you guys, it's a suicide prevention PSA. It's a video, but it shows like if you're down and out, you know, there are numbers to call. There are people that can help you. And the last thing that you want to do is take yourself out so that all of the people around you that you don't even realize love you, they're the ones that are going to go through, you know, the pain and the anguish that, because you're gone. And Allan stepped in, and, you know, we recreated, like, this is pretty hardcore. Like, we recreated the crucifixion on the cross at the very end. Yeah. And like the metaphor here is like the guys that beat up Jesus at the end. That's Storm is playing Jesus. You know, like if you think about it, if God the Father, you don't even need to be Christian to even know the story, but if Jesus had all the power and he could have not gone through everything, well, isn't him hanging on the cross kind of like the most ultimate suicide ever? And the point is some dude already did that. He did it pretty epically. Like, they close shit down every year because of Easter. Somebody already did that, so you don't have to. That gimmick's already been done. Like, it's time for you to wake up and stick around and get some help. And, you know, Allan was so good. James Storm was so good. Chase, you know, you guys just showed up. You didn't want anything for it. I think I even, you know, tried to pay you guys, and you didn't want money for it.
Put the money in my bra, Goldy. I just couldn't get away from you.
Yeah, exactly. you're just, you guys are good people. So back to what we're saying, like if somebody's thriving, like look and see how you can thrive too and be happy for them. You have to be.
Oh yeah.
Being jealous and envious that's not going to get you anywhere. That's a dark road to go down.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's how the wrestling business is, though, and
That's
unfortunately
any business, dude.
it's all entertainment.
That's
Really.
entertainment. Nah, shit. That's the guy, the guy at the bank.
Well, that's true.
That's the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. That's the lady over at the post office who's getting it. It's like, why do people have to get so mad? And I get it. If you're legitimately trying and somebody who's just bunk gets the promotion, well, then maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe there's something better. Hey, John.
What's
maybe
up,
there's
John?
something better coming your way. There's divine intervention up there. You got to believe in a higher power and that somebody's playing chess. And that if you're doing everything right, then maybe that promotion you didn't get or that opportunity wasn't for you and you're being protected. You're right, Josh. Never hold on to grudges. I believe you're protected, Allan. I really do.
So the name of the video, Goldy, and you want to tell them the name and how they can see that video?
It's called All to You, and it's on Russo's brand. It debuted, premiered on Russo's brand. So just go to YouTube, look for All to You, and then Goldy, Goldy. And then if you feel like leaving a nice message in the comments, you can even say, hey, heard you on Get Funked, or just cross promote. There you go. Cross pollinate Allan's show and just say, I heard you. And maybe just say hashtag just stay so that people that are maybe feeling bad have something positive to see.
Yeah, Preston has the address up there, but
that's so cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Preston, you jackass.
Is Preston going to come on the show? There he is.
I told him I was going to start treating him like Gary Delabate on the Howard Stern show.
Oh my God.
If it wasn't for my background being so busy right now, I'd definitely be in more.
You better, man. You better, bro.
Preston's a good guy, so he helps me out a lot trying to get this going.
I think it's brilliant. I love your promo package. It's awesome, and all your graphics are just great, Allan.
Yeah, they did a hell of a job. Now the graphic I made, actually Charles Redmond made that. He helps out with the podcast. The one that I put on Instagram and Facebook.
Fantastic.
I loved it. It was awesome.
A1.
So I'm glad you're happy with it because he does good stuff, man.
Yeah, you got a whole team of people. I'm just looking at my team.
Unfortunately, I'm not as smart as you, Goldy.
Shut up, Allan. Be quiet.
If I had a wig, I'm almost as good looking.
Very, very much.
All right, so let's now. I don't know if people know you were on Ted Nugent's show. That was called Running Wild, right?
Running Wild from Ted Nugent. Yeah, that was an interesting experience. He's an interesting guy.
So you had to go there for 3 days, is that right? And
I went there for longer than 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There was
tell us how that went and tell us about Ted Nugent.
It was interesting. We've opened for Ted Nugent. The band has many times.
Awesome.
He still doesn't remember each time, which is like I've been on his show. I've opened for him. We've opened for him 3 times. Been on his show. Stayed at his house. Still doesn't know who the F I am. So
he must grow some good mushrooms on his property, huh?
I don't know what he's growing. But I'm trying to think of. I guess I've got a story that's really interesting that I don't really tell that often. But one of the shows that we were playing at was in Biloxi, Mississippi, and we were backstage, and all I remember is like this huge commotion going on, Allan, like just screaming. And I was just like taken aback, and I didn't understand like what had happened. And what had happened was his wife was backstage with him, and he was getting ready to do a meet and greet. And all of a sudden, you just heard her saying, "I thought that was the last one. I thought that was the last one." Well, some guy showed up. Now I'm friends with like everybody in the back office, all the people, that payroll and whatnot. I've been playing this venue for years. So it turns out that another one of Ted's illegitimate children showed up wanting to see his dad, and like finally got through, and like Ted had another one, like, and I guess his wife was just like so done with all the affairs and gimmicks that he had going on behind her back. So anyway, this kid shows up, and he legitimately is his son, which most of Ted's crew is his kids. Like he's got so many freaking kids
that's cheap labor.
You know what? But he employs them all. He's a stand-up guy. So, yeah, the show was interesting. I ended up losing on the show, but I did go temporarily blind because I got hit with a kickback with gunpowder. They weren't ready to release me from the show, so I went to the hospital for that. Got my vision back. The next day, I fell into a pit, and I had pneumonia during that show too.
Jeez.
So I was just sick as they built the whole show around a rocker. So
Yeah.
they were like, we got to have you. And I'm like, I can't even stand up. They're like, oh, we'll prop you up. Like, we'll make sure you're okay. So yeah, I ended up spending the night in his house when I was supposed to be out on the field, like reading their contestants, but they cheated. They brought me in, but then I fell into a hole and broke 2 ribs.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Just crazy.
So they just have you basically doing like survival
And Allan,
stuff. You got to see what you can
you'll
do.
come
right?
back. It's all good. You're back.
Oh, I got cut off there.
Waiting on Allan. Waiting on
Preston, what's going on over here?
So the stream's fine, but she seems to be.
Hold on a
losing
second.
connection.
We've got to wait for your internet connection. So can Preston help out with that, or who's got the main plug?
Our 60. That's still not that.
So I'm good, Preston.
Yeah, everybody's good except
You're
for Goldy.
still coming in. You're coming in and out. So let's hold on for a second. Are you plugged into the Ethernet?
I am.
I feel like I know that name.
Where's Allan? He'll be back.
Yeah. Are you there, Goldy?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I'll keep talking because I think I'm okay.
Yeah, you're good. Keep talking.
You're not okay though. I am there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Goldy. Hold on, let me show that keep talking, Goldy. Let me type something else to
We'll get it.
Can you see that, Goldy?
Let's see.
Don't you just hate this, Preston? The internet, it keeps going off and on. I'm typing the Goldy here, and she thinks it's somebody else because it doesn't say Allan Funk.
I'll jump in for a minute. So check it out here. I think she was lagging, but she should be back here in just a minute.
Just I guess play a little bit of that video, like where we jump in. For those that don't know, James Storm from Impact Wrestling and Chase Stevens, they're on there. And myself.
I don't want to play too much of it because it does get a little graphic, and that can get us in trouble. So
okay, don't do that then. So John, Booker never got jealous of me that I know of. He was still married at the time when I was in WCW with Paisley. So they weren't a couple then. So to answer your question, as far as I know, he never got jealous because he was married at the time.
All right, speed round questions. Come on, guys, put some more out there. Let's ask. It's now Ask Allan.
Yeah, there you go. It sucks that we lost Goldy. She can always get that link back and jump back in there, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
So we're on the Ask Allan.
So what did Josh say here? He said he had something about the pod or the. Josh had a question. Or no? I don't
Here you
know.
go. Here's one for you, Allan.
Working with Vince Russo. Nah, Vince was always cool to me, man. I don't have one bad word to say about Vince Russo. He helped me get my gimmick that I had, Kwee, which, whether I liked it or not, it got me on TV. So him and Terry Taylor saw me in the airport, and I actually used to have my hair spiked up like that for real. And they looked at me and said, "You actually wear your hair like that?" Like we thought that was just a gimmick. So, there's Goldy. She back?
It's sideways though. There it is.
Goldy.
It was. It looked like it was your connection, Goldy. We can't hear you.
No, I can't hear.
Mm-mm. No sound whatsoever.
Let's see here. See if she can see this. I can almost hear there a little bit. Can you?
Nothing whatsoever. I turned my volume up all the way. Let me see if I can adjust.
Let me show this. What? Oh, you got.
Yeah.
So, but we're cool. She's just having trouble, huh?
Yeah. Let me see here. I'm trying to adjust her stuff right now, but I can't
Yeah, see, Preston is working hard, tirelessly. He works 24 hours a day trying to make this podcast work. We can just sit here and watch him. My angry Allan ego was fun to watch and should fight the demon. Nah, I can't fight the demon, John. I'd beat him up, and his wife would get mad, Asia, and that'd be another mess I don't want to deal with. Plus, me and Dale are good buddies, man. I can't fight Dale. Now, if they got some money for us, we might maybe like the Logan Paul, Ben Askren fight. We might be able to work something in there. But I did like Angry Allan, so I wish they could have got more of that character.
Angry Allan. Was that like a short-lived thing for your career there?
Well, it was my alter ego, Kwee. I'd snap when I got mad, and it'd be Angry Allan, and I'd say, "You don't want to make me mad," or kind of like you cut a bog. You don't want to make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
They paint you all red.
No, they didn't have to. I could turn red. No doubt about it. We used to take these pills, the niacin pills, but they were flushing. Well, I got kind of used to the niacin flush, and all these other guys, they would take them and they would be like, "Oh my God," they'd be itching. They'd be, "Oh my God, what's happening? I'm having a heart attack. I don't know what's going on." And I'd laugh. And so I actually got some pharmaceutical grade niacin, flushing niacin from a doctor buddy of mine. Mm-hmm. And when I took those things, I'd take 2 of those and I'd be red as a shirt, man, all blotchy. But then you'd go backstage and you try to, you'd pump up a little bit and then you'd fill all the gaps in and then you'd look more tan on TV. So when I did the Funkster gimmick, like, Hogan's skin always looked like it was leather, right? So I'd get real tan, then I would take those niacin, and then on TV I'd look way more tan. So, man, we're getting some good views here too, man. And then Goldy got kicked off of here. That sucks.
That's okay. We're here for you. Let's see.
What character do you remember of the show there? I remember the character on TV a few shows. Oh, probably Angry Allan. I guess he's
probably referring to that.
Well, it was mostly when I did the Kwee character anyway. They just started calling it Angry Allan. So, oh, Goldilocks, where you at?
Oh man,
I can start singing my Livewire song, man, because Pierce thinks I ought to be a singer.
Well, do you know who's going to be on the show next, or have we gotten to that yet? Like, do we know?
Yeah, I got confirmed. If there's any wrestling fans out there, the old Lucha Libre USA show that was on MTV 2 and 3, I do believe, that was started back in maybe 2010. I'm thinking I had a character on there. I was a they call these exoticos, these characters. And I was an exotico, it was kind of almost like the Kwee character, which I don't know how I get caught up doing this crap. Which I really didn't like doing stuff like that. I wasn't comfortable doing it. But John Walter's name, RJ Brewer, he was like one of the main heels. He did a gimmick on the Lucha Libre USA with like we had Mark Jindrak. He was on there. He was one of the main baby faces. But John did a gimmick where he was from Arizona and his mom was the governor or whatever. They're trying to get, banned. And since this was a Mexican based Lucha Libre show, that's why he was a heel, because he was trying to ban the Mexicans from coming across the border and wrestling in the United States. So it was a pretty good character. So I'm going to have John on next week, and he's a real smart guy, good dude. I'm sure he'll have a lot to talk about. He's got a lot of good stories. So, we're going to have John on from Lucha Libre USA. He's actually wrestled for Ring of Honor. He's done several dark matches for WWE. He's actually one of the few guys I know that got along with Bob Holly.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So anybody else that we know that's confirmed for showing up on the show in the future?
Nah, I don't want to say too much, man. I want to kind of do it week to week, and that way it'll keep, hopefully people want to tune in and see who's going to be on.
Definitely.
When did I meet you there was also.
Here we go.
When did meet you there? I guess John's asking, he met us there. Tank Skipper, Dale, and Muda. Yeah, that was or when did I meet him there? I didn't quite understand that question.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If he's wanting to know about these guys, Tank was a cool guy, man. One of the strongest dudes you ever met. I'll tell you a quick story about Tank. This dude would be in the power plant, and he really didn't do too much in the ring. if you ever watched him on TV, you would pretty much guarantee he wasn't in the ring too much. But he was a good guy, man. He was funny. One story, when he worked out in the gym, he would I remember him squatting, and he would mostly squat and bench press, and he would bench press 500 pounds like he was warming up with it, like it was nothing. And he'd squat 500-600 pounds, no problem. But what he would do is when he was getting ready to bench, he had a plate where he would take partials out, so he had some teeth missing. So he would take his thing out of his mouth and stick it in another tennis shoe without, not in a plastic bag, not, right in his tennis shoe, one of his nasty tennis shoes. And after he got done working out, he just pop it right back in his mouth like it was nothing. So that's the story about Tank. Then if you tuned in last week, John, you seen Dale Torberg was on the show, which was the Demon. And then Muda, I wrestled with Muda in WCW and All Japan Pro Wrestling. I actually wrestled Muda in a main event in All Japan Pro Wrestling, which when I got to the arena, everybody's like, "Oh man, you're wrestling Muda." And you know who Muda is, Preston?
Why you gotta always put me on the spot?
Well, I'm just saying, Muda. If you would equate Muda to Hulk Hogan in the 80s, Muda is bigger in Japan than Hulk Hogan ever was in the States. That's how big Muda is, especially in Japan. So I got to wrestle Muda in the main event. I wrestled him in a few matches, but I actually got to wrestle him in the main event in All Japan Pro Wrestling. It was amazing. As if you know anything about wrestling, when you're over here in the States, and like I said, the equivalent of Hulk Hogan wouldn't even be big in the 80s when he was at his highest, as good as, yeah, there he is. Great Muda, man. He's a great guy, man. I miss wrestling with that dude. He was real gracious, man. We got backstage. I don't know if he got mad at me for kind of exposing this a little bit, but when I just started going over to All Japan Wrestling, I was doing the Funkster gimmick, which I didn't really like. And that Dead Prez, that's Boogaloo, or that's is that Boogaloo?
I think
no. That's the other one. Man, sorry guys. I'm a little upset that Goldie's not here, so my head's all over the place. Muda is a legend, John. Mm-hmm. So Muda, we go backstage, and I try to explain how this works in the wrestling business. Muda told me, we're dropping listeners. The Funkster, the Kwee, he just ain't good enough entertainment for the people. But Muda actually told me, he said, listen, he said, nobody knows you, Funkster. You just come to All Japan Wrestling. He said, you do all your special moves to Muda will get you over. And you wrestle in the States, that shit don't happen. If I would have wrestled Hulk Hogan on Nitro or something, he said, hey, kid, I'm getting all my shit in. I'm going to hit you with a leg drop and we're going home. And would have said he could care less if I got anything in. So, and that's pretty much how it is in the States. Unless you take there, she's back
again.
I'm
Goldie. So pissed off. Oh my God.
Goldie, we're dropping viewers like flies since you left.
Oh, shut up.
We are.
All right, here we go.
So I was just telling stories about Great Muda and stuff wrestling in Japan, but I'm sure everyone's there. Where is Goldie at? Pierce says.
So you guys, we'll talk about it when we're off the air, but one of you, hopefully, are you the host or is Preston the host?
Yeah, Preston is.
So.
Goldie's not. She's getting mad, dude. You're screwed.
I'll tell her how it works when her connection's back, because I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got my Ethernet in. Everything's good on my end, right?
Yeah, everything looks good on my side too. So I don't know what's going on there. As soon as it loads back up, we'll make sure.
Hey, Piers, we're having some technical difficulty with Goldie here, man. I was happy to see her back, and then we lost her again. But you know what? We got 35 minutes in. Hopefully we can get her back and finish out the show in a positive note, right?
Exactly.
Muda was with Vamp and ICP, yeah. ICP were pretty good guys. They let us hang out in their tour bus one night.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot again. You know who the ICP is, Preston?
Yeah, they're banned from my city for a long time.
Are they really? Well, that's good. That's good.
they're actually from where I'm from, which is Wichita, Kansas. They were.
Oh, really? Well,
from here, and then they
here's
got
something you don't know, Preston. They actually banned themselves from that city because it sucks.
You are right. You are right.
No, it can't be as bad as Portland, Oregon, is it?
I don't know. Probably a close competition.
No, I've been to Kansas. It ain't that bad. I'm just messing with you.
It's just really quiet here. There's just not a whole lot to do.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have any riots there, do you?
Riots?
Yeah, see, you're good then. Preston, John is in Wichita now.
Yeah.
Sweet. So I guess, no, that was Big John that follows Goldy, right? That was on earlier.
Yeah,
she's coming back.
Here.
Let's see what we got.
I'll just
Hey, Goldy, don't get heat. I don't want heat with you. I don't want heat, Goldy.
No heat. There's no heat. Let's keep going. I think you need to keep Preston in here. God.
I'm here. I'm here when I need to be.
He's listening.
I think it has to do with that there's 3 people on the source, but keep going. Let's keep going while it's working.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Preston, you need to get your shit together, pal.
No, it's not. Preston's doing everything great. I just want to make sure that I do these all the time and I never have any problems. So I just hope that it's not me. I'm panicking. All right, let's get back to where we were.
Yeah, so we were talking about you on Ted Nugent, I believe, right?
Yeah, so he had all these illegitimate kids and everything like that. So I broke my ribs, and it was a really shitty time. But the rest of the people that were on the show, no entertainment background at all, Allan. They weren't workers, they weren't entertainers, singers, nothing. They're just.
How did they get them on there? They just did through a talent search or what? Yeah,
so they're regular Joes, and I'm noticing that this show is the most boring show that I've ever. It was so boring that all I could think of is I have 2 broken ribs, I have pneumonia, I'm out here. This is never going to get picked up because it's so freaking boring, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like trying to think of any angle that I could. Now there's cameras everywhere. The only place that they couldn't see was in the bathroom.
Man.
So there was one of the other chicks, and I'm like, I pushed her in the bathroom, and she's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, They can't hear us in here. And I'm like, look, I'm just going to grab you and like start making out with you or something like that. Like, just be ready. I'm going to do it. And I was like, she's like, okay, why?
So she was okay with it?
She was like, well, whatever we got to do to get camera time. I'm like, this isn't even going to air. I'm like, this isn't going to air. No one's going to watch. This is so fucking boring. And so I didn't have to do that because we were sitting around a campfire and Ted was like giving us a challenge to do. And I think like the next thing was going to be us eating like maggots or grubs. Like if we were lucky, we got to eat like some protein, like some, worms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just remember going, all these people were like, ew. And I was just like, you guys, we got to do something to like pick this show up because it's thanks, Big Josh. So the next thing that I know is like, I'm cutting a promo. VH1 was so desperate for Joe. I'm cutting a promo on the rest of the people at the campfire, like, because they're just stupid. And I'm like, you guys suck. Like, you suck. This is like the most boring television. Wow. No one's going to watch this. All of you suck. Like, you've got to start not being pussies and wussies and like do stuff and just fucking try.
And what was everybody saying when you were saying this?
Well, they didn't get a chance to because there was so much smoke from the campfire. And they're like, people were like, different grips were like wafting smoke and whatnot. And the next thing you know, like from the heavens, through the smoke, comes this like silver-haired man. And I was like, all I can remember is going, you guys, this is the most boring television I've ever been a part of. And like the smoke cleared. And all of a sudden, this man with silver hair came by. And he said, she's right. Goldilocks is right. This is the most boring. Well, and I'm like, you know who it was?
Who was it?
It was Eric Bischoff.
Are you serious?
It was his production company, that
Bischoff,
Evie, whatever it is.
Yeah, Harvey or Hervey. Yeah,
Evie, Harvey, and it was Eric, and he was like there the whole time, and I was just like, well, apparently the guy that was running me around fixing my broken ribs and taking me to the hospital was Eric's son. And I'm like,
really?
you asshole! Like, why didn't you tell me like that was you? And he's like, it was just too much fun, like having you like run your mouth and stuff, and have no idea like who I was or whatever. And I was just like, wow, this was awesome.
So that's his son that wrestled on the TNA, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Garrett
So he was
is his name.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And he was just a delight. It was just great. But yeah, so Eric stepped in and started getting more direction. They were trying to let it be really organic. But dude, it was when you bring in people that aren't used to that, it was so boring that.
So Eric actually agreed with you, huh?
Yeah, I was just like, she's right. And I was like, wait, where's this voice coming from the smoke? And he like walked through. It was just like, it was out of a movie. Like his entrance was out of a movie. She's right. It's absolutely the most boring television ever. So
yeah, I got a story with Garrett too. The first time I met Garrett, he actually went to high school with Jimmy Wang Yang.
They don't.
With one he did one of the Flying Elvises. He was with Jorge and Sonny.
Okay.
He was the Oriental one. He did Jimmy Wang Yang in WWE, but he was Yang in WCW. Well, nice. they all went to high school together or something. So we used to wrestle at this bar in Georgia while we were going through the power plant in WCW to get some ring time and stuff. So there was a bar called Good Old Days. Well, I met Garrett there on a Saturday afternoon. We used to do like Saturday shows for like kids. And Garrett was there and he wanted me to beat him up or punch him and slam and stuff. And I'm like, it's Eric Bischoff's kid. Like, he's like my boss. If I, screw him up, I'm going to get in trouble. So he ends up jumping ring. I slam him or whatever, beat him up a little bit, and he loved it. And he was still in high school. So, I mean, that could have been the end of my career right there. But, he was real cool. And then I guess he never told his dad anything. So.
Oh, my God. Okay. Wow. That's crazy.
And I hadn't seen Garrett since then. And then I seen him on, when he's on TNA and he's got all these tattoos and, he looks pretty good. He looks like he works out and takes care of himself. And I hadn't seen him since he's been an adult.
So what's he doing now?
I have no idea. I last time I seen him was on, Impact or whatever. And I haven't seen him since. So I don't know.
I'd like to look him up. I want to see what he's doing.
Yeah. Hey, Annette, thanks for joining us. Annette, she's one of my faithful listeners. She's here every week.
Hey, hi, Annette. Yeah, I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties, but I'm back. So
yeah, she said she was late, so she might have missed it.
She might have missed it. Well, that's nice that she came in. So you already have listeners. You already have people that are following. Everybody's so into your show and into you. I'm so excited.
Well, I hope so. It'd be good. Yeah. So I'm excited to have you on, man. I love doing this kind of stuff,
And having a little bit of technical difficulty is always good to see. I think the first time that you came on my podcast, I was having technical difficulties.
I don't really remember. It wasn't very much if we did.
Nah, we got it going. We always got it going.
I mean, I was answering some questions here and talking about, my Japan stuff, and hopefully it wasn't too boring.
Are you allowed to talk about like what's going on in the future for you or not yet?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, what do you have some things going on? Because I remember you and Lenny were talking about some things.
Oh, no, nothing has, well, we actually told you about that though, right?
No.
Oh, I thought we told you about that.
No.
Well, I can tell you this much. Me, Lenny, and Lodi are wanting to, start a tag team together. And we'd been talking to a certain organization, not the WWE. So, but nothing's come of it yet. So, and Lodi actually trains Arn Anderson's son. And I believe Lodi's in Charlotte. He's got a school there. He's personal. Yeah, he's got a wrestling school and he's a personal trainer. And he's been training Arn's son. So, and Arn's in AEW, so we're trying to use that route. So,
Well, I cannot wait to find out.
I'm still in decent shape for 50 years old. I'll be 50 in July, but
I don't think does it really matter how old you are in wrestling?
You know what? If they can use you, they can use you. I mean, just look at Vince. Like everybody says, you're going to burn your bridge up there. But if Vince will use you, if you can make him money and you can do something that he wants done, then he'll use you.
I agree. I just think there's places for anybody everywhere. It just depends on the angle and like what's going on. We just saw a movie called Nobody. Have you seen that yet? You got to go see that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you'd love it. It's great. And the cool thing is there's an actor in there, Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, the guy that was in Back to the Future.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's up there in his age, and it's like it's a perfect spot for him.
Yeah.
And it shows an older cat in a position of power. And it's like, it works in the movie. And it would be stupid to have to have anybody else in it for that particular role. And it's like, there are roles for all different. And that's what I'm just saying. Don't get jealous and don't get envious and don't wig out if you feel like the time that the clock is ticking. Correct, Annette. Don't wig out because of that. Like, find your place. There's always. I think you sure would go to AEW, Allan. Annette says, "Would you go to AEW?" He's like, "Yeah,
yeah. Of course I would. Of course I would."
A lot of great promotions that are out there. How do you know Annette? Where'd you meet her?
Just through watching my podcast. She's always kind enough to, have some comments, and she sends me some messages on Facebook and Instagram and lets me know she's following me,
I love it. Well, pleased to meet you, Annette. That's really great. Big Josh is over here. Big Josh is a great brand fam alumni. It's always nice to see him.
Awesome. So now they can cross promote. So, she can start following you. Josh can start following me.
There you go. There you go.
So don't forget that, Josh.
I really appreciate you doing the video with me, Allan. That was just
it meant a lot to me, Goldy. I was happy you asked me. Driving up to Nashville was well worth it just to hang out with you, get to see James and Chase.
It was really cool. That was a great night. You guys did such a perfect job. It was executed so well.
Yeah. I mean, like we always say, and you said it several times, when you're working with people that are professionals, like, everybody was there on time. We didn't have to wait on anybody, everything, when you got James Storm and Chase Stevens, I mean, they know what they're doing. Yeah. And, it didn't take nothing for us to come up with, what we came up with, which looked pretty good in the video.
It looks amazing in the video. Like, the spot was flawless.
Yeah. And like I said, I can't watch that video without if I could actually make tears in my eyes, I would have tears in my eyes, Goldy. From my accent, I still can't get tears in my eyes. So
that's what you said. God, and we talked about your accident, and that just blows me. It blows me away that happened to you. Like, just
Also, Annette's in Melbourne, Australia. So actually, I wrestled in Melbourne, Australia more than once in that. So
that wasn't where your accident happened.
No, that was in Helsinki, Finland.
Crazy stuff. How did you meet Garrett, who's in the background here?
Which one's Garrett?
Garrett. No. Oh, wait. Who's the guy that's helping you?
Preston.
Oh, Garrett. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Well, I met him through Piers because Piers, I did an interview on Piers' podcast, which is in the MWA podcast network. Piers Austin. And you were on a show as well.
Yeah.
Well, when I did a show, he just thought I was down to earth guy, and in the back of his mind, I guess he kept me in his mind, and he wanted to start his own podcast network, and reached out to me and wanted to know if I want to do a podcast. And, that means a lot, knowing that you left an impact on somebody enough for them to ask you to be part of their, network they're trying to start.
That is so killer.
And that's Angel as well, the guy that chimed in there earlier trying to get heat, but Angel's a heat seeker with, especially with the big Vito. Him and Vito are good buddies.
Okay.
So
Vito was on my podcast. I haven't aired it yet. A few weeks ago. He's a really interesting guy.
Oh, Vito's real interesting. Good guy. And his wife Noelle as well. She's trying to get me to get on Vito. She keeps asking Vito why I hadn't been on his podcast yet.
Why haven't you?
I don't know. Vito, like we were talking about earlier, he's probably jealous because I shaved my head, and I'm a pretty handsome guy, and he's probably a little jealous.
I think he's just great. I think he's really, really intelligent. I had no idea. I found out about where his dress gimmick originated from. I didn't know a lot of his story. Really interesting.
Vito met my dad. My dad used to give all the boys a silver dollar. It was in a case, like a hard case, and all the guys that he liked, he'd give them a coin, which I'm sure he'd give Vito one. But so me and Vito, my dad was in the military, lifetime military. Excuse me. And so Vito calls him General Funk, which he wasn't a general, but that's kind of like our joke between us. So he's always like, if I post something with Kwee with something pink on it, he's like, man, General Funk would be so upset with you. So
is your dad still around?
No, my dad passed away in 2004, I believe it was.
Okay. I'm so sorry. God love him.
So but my dad loved coming to shows, man. He was friends with all the boys, and he give them all, like I said, he give them all coins and stuff. So everybody I talked to back in the day, they're like, oh, I remember your dad gave me that coin and I still got it. And it's awesome, so that's how all the boys remember my dad.
I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, General Funk's got a special place in Vito's heart.
Now I know.
But hopefully I'll be on his show pretty soon.
I would love to see that. That'd be one for the books for sure.
Oh yeah. So then maybe I'll be on your show again soon.
I just we need to keep on. Anytime that you've got news or you've got something cooking, I just got done. Another show that I did after Ted Nugent was TLC's Cheapskates.
Uh-huh.
And I did some pretty disgusting things on that show, which I like being cheap. I like saving people money. Yeah. And that just got picked up by another circulation. So it's like a lot of people overseas are seeing it. Annette might be seeing it in Australia. I know during all through Europe, it's recycled and coming out again, and people are reaching out and saying, I saw this. And then I've got some new things in the works that, fingers crossed, and good vibes, that I'm really expecting great things from them. So I'm looking forward to being out, on mainstream TV again, just because it's, how fun that is. And
oh yeah. I'd love to see you on something. That'd be awesome.
Well, I'd love to see you as well. Hi, butthead. Goldy, you're hot. What's up, Gary?
That's my best buddy, Gary Shumate. I call him Dick in a Bucket.
Dick in a Bucket? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just like calling him Dick in a Bucket.
Very, very kind. Ask me more stuff, Allan, so that I'm not doing all the talking. Shit.
Ask him what?
Ask me some more stuff because I'm doing all the talking.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why you're here. You're doing all the talking.
That's why I'm here.
I did want to say something though. Oh, I am going to have Serge on the show. You're.
Oh God, you need to have Serge on the show.
Serge is awesome. He's funnier than crap. I started watching his stuff. I met Rod. I haven't met Serge yet. I need to come to Nashville, or I got to meet Serge, man. I need to meet him.
He's cut from the same cloth that you are.
He's a trip, man. We're gonna now when I have him on my podcast, we're both gonna have assless chaps on.
Are you really? Wow!
And we're actually gonna show the crowd our assless chaps.
Nice. That will be one I will miss, but
correct, and that won't happen.
Yes,
hey, Preston, we're not allowed to have assless chaps. Come on, man.
Apparently not. You'll have to blur it out. But yeah, I mean, you and Serge should do a pre-commercial. That's what you should do. There should be some sort of a commercial that's done that runs, letting everybody know that he will be on the show, and maybe not showing assless chaps, but he's got a really great sense of humor. But you guys are cut from the same political background and all that.
Oh, dude, he's awesome. Now I got his text. We exchanged phone numbers. Now we'll text each other and stuff. I was helping him out with his diet and his working out and stuff, and he said the advice I give him actually works. So
nice.
Is he looking buff?
I haven't seen him in a while, but I'm sure he is.
Okay.
We haven't had a show for a little while, but at the last show, he was looking good.
Okay, yeah, he just texted me yesterday, as a matter of fact. So
nice. Oh, I'm glad that you guys made that connection.
Oh yeah, I'm going to have him on here, in a couple weeks. We'll get him on here.
That's fantastic.
And then maybe one day I can have you, Rod, and Serge on.
We would love to tell you stories from the road.
The Goldilocks band.
That'd be a great pod.
Some cheapskate stories.
No, just really drunk people road stories.
All right. So, do you want to tell anybody what you're working on now, or you want to keep that secret?
Can't really sign my NDA, my non-disclosure agreement.
Okay.
But it is. Hold on. It is definitely something along the lines of saving people money.
Okay. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So hopefully we can see you on TV in the future, Goldy.
Bro, I'm so looking forward to it, and doing it the right way this time. Yeah, because I really jacked up a lot of stuff when I was on TNA. I just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to take advantage of all of the things that came along with that.
Well, shoot, none of us did. I mean, all the guys that I come in the wrestling business with, like that was on TV at the same time I was, they just threw us to the wolves. They basically, Paul went over to tell, and it was kind of like this in TNA, but we had a little more experience. But they didn't give us any direction in TNA at all.
I know.
It was brutal. They promised me and Lenny the world, but like me and Lenny both were like, we don't believe it till we see it, and it never happened. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is. You learn as you go, which sucks in this business,
Yeah, I think I learned, and then I should have applied more. I mean, when you say I'm 50 years old, like to me, that's about the age that you just start figuring things out. So I think
you're right. It is.
I think you're in your prime. I think you have a lot to offer, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future, holds for you, or you and Lenny, or you and Lenny and Lodi.
Well, hopefully it works out. We got our fingers crossed.
Yeah,
we were gonna start doing independent stuff, trying to work it out a little bit, and then but nobody's paying independent shows, some of these, and then most of these independent shows, they already got, their 10 buddies on it, and they don't want nobody else on the card,
I get it.
So,
well, I would hold out and get, you know what? This is what I would do. I would get together with Lenny and Lodi and come up with what your gimmicks are and what your look is, and I would cut some promos and start just getting some of that stuff even done and in the can and make it look amazing. That's what I would do.
Now, when you had Lodi on, Lodi is a funny dude, isn't he? Remember when he's working the gimmick in his garage, saying his girlfriend was breaking up with him and threw him out in the garage. You remember that?
That was Lenny.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Yeah. I think you said Lodi.
No, Lenny. Yeah. That dude's a trip, isn't he?
So he's really not getting a divorce then?
No, that was just he was just working the angle. Just
Are
being
you
Lenny.
serious?
Yeah, he's a trip, man. That's why I was laughing so hard, because I think you bought into it.
Oh, I totally did.
That's what made it so funny.
Oh my
But it worked, because he's that dude could be, he's like a rock, dude. Once he starts saying something, like, you believe him.
So he's still married then?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was really getting a divorce and living in a van down by the river.
Down by the river. Yeah, no,
that asshole. I think I kept asking him if he was okay after that. Like, are you doing all right, brother? And he's like, oh, I'll be all right. What a dick.
He was just seeing how far he could, work the gimmick.
Oh, he worked it all right. Those wrestlers.
That was awesome.
What a dick. All right, now I got it.
That douchebag. I'll send him a text telling him you call him a dick.
Yeah, you better. Tell him I bought that hook, line, and sinker. You know what else I was going to say? I don't know how long your podcasts go, but if people wouldn't mind checking out our Patreon, we've got a pretty cool Patreon, patreon.com/Goldilocks. And we just love our patrons over there. We always want to encourage everybody to check that out too. So that's my shameless plug.
I got you. Hey, Press, can you put that in there in the comments and put it up there on the screen? Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Preston. Wow, that was very kind.
See, Preston's a man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who else that you have on your network and how that's working. That's a big thing to undertake.
Yeah, we got 2 guys that were called the Dead Presidents. I don't know.
Really?
If you ever heard of it. Yeah, have you ever heard of that? The wrestling gimmick? They just started a show. It's on Sunday nights at 9:00 Eastern time. Preston, I think it's live, right?
Yeah, 9:00 Eastern, live on the same places you can find all of our other shows.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
And then Angel's got one. He does his Friday nights. I think it is 7 or 8 o'clock.
Tomorrow night, it starts an hour after this one would normally.
Yeah.
So, go get it. I hope
along with Piers.
Sponsorships.
Yeah, man, it's exciting, man. I'm glad Piers asked me to be part of this, and so far it's working out.
I love it.
Awesome, but we're coming up on an hour, Goldy. But we can go as long as you want.
It's anything that you want.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to talk about?
I wish I could talk more about the upcoming TV. I can just say that I'm excited to come back on your show when it is out and talk about all the crazy experiences. And wrestling has taught me just so much about just going for it. Yeah, and, the crazier, the better. And being a heel for most of my career, it was the greatest life lesson that I could have ever been given. Once you don't care what people think about you, which when you're a heel, you can't. It's your job to be hated and have people loathe you and spit at you and throw things at you in public. Like, I think that was the best and the greatest life lesson I could have ever had. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, when you learn that, it makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Oh,
so there's one of the guys at the Dead President. That's Lou. He said, "Thank you, Allan, and you're awesome, Goldy." I'm
going to totally go check. Can you put Dead Prez, put Lou's handle up so that I can go follow him? Or
him and Lou.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Lou and Boogaloo, they're 2 separate guys.
Yeah, but that guy wouldn't mind going over to Instagram or Twitter. Goldilocks Rocks, Goldie with a Y. Follow me so I can follow you back. I'd love to see what you're doing.
Yeah, I got you. You hear that, Lou?
I hope you heard that. Well, shit,
Hell,
you got more followers and watchers than I do on my show. You're doing great.
Nah, I doubt that, Goldie. But since you come back, though, we have up the attendance here.
I have you. I can't even tell, but that's good.
Yeah, you're want to see TV, man. I got to have you on here more often. Maybe every other week.
Very kind, very kind. Yeah, as my internet seems to bag out, or somebody's did. I don't understand what happened.
So what you were trying to explain was you think since Preston's the host and I'm actually on the same feed, and then you got on the same feed, it kind of slowed it down.
Yeah, but whoever is the main host should be plugged into the Ethernet cable. I hope. Like I'm plugged into Ethernet cable.
Yeah, we both are.
So that's really weird because then what was happening is I was staying, but you were going away. So what did it look like on your end?
Well, see, on ours, the podcast went as planned without you on it. Me and Preston were both great. That's why we were talking, and I was talking about some old wrestling stuff.
I'm glad it worked out. I'm on another network right now, so maybe that's what it was. I'll have to go check it out.
No, we're good now. We're good. So I'm just glad you got back in and we were able to finish it up.
Absolutely. I'm excited for everything that you're doing, and I'm so proud of you, and the graphics look phenomenal, and just everything looks A1. Really, really pro.
Well, I appreciate that. So you got the green screen. I got to figure this out. I'm technically retarded. So
pretty easy. You just get yourself a green screen, and if anyone is listening, you can go to Amazon.com/shop/Goldilocks Rocks. There's a whole section called
tell them about that. Hey Preston, can you post that, or can you find that, the Goldilocks Rocks Amazon?
It's Amazon.com/shop/Goldilocks Rocks.
Yeah, and it helps Goldie out when people buy stuff that you endorse.
You know what? Once you click on it, like I can't publicly post, I can't say anything about this, but how it works is once you click on my hub, anything that you buy, a dildo to a carburetor, I make a couple pennies for. So the site that I just told you about, right?
Dildo to a carburetor. Huh?
Yeah, the site that I just told you about, it's my vanity site, meaning it's all of the stuff that I use and stand behind, or whatever, just stuff that I've purchased and like. But if you don't buy anything off of that page, if you're still under, in my hub, anything like I said that you buy.
Okay, I got you. Well, I thought I'd done that, but I guess I hadn't done that.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, Allan, go to that and go to lights, camera, action. It's a whole, thanks, honey. It's a whole section, and everything that I use in the studio, all my lights, all my gimmicks, microphones, green screen, it's all there. Like I just let everybody know this is what I use. I got you. Yeah, so you'd buy a green screen and a couple lights, and you're good.
So he's got your Amazon.com up on.
Yeah, thank you. But I mean, there really is a lot of information on that. There's a whole workout section, all the gimmicks that I use on the road or at my house to work out with. I put it all there. I put all the workout programs. I put supplements that I use. I put everything on that. All different categories. Yeah. But it doesn't matter if you buy it from my page or not, as long as you're in there and like I said, dildos to carburetors. Me, what people are buying on Amazon these days.
Nice. I love it. So I guess Annette, and I think the Dead Prez said he started following you.
Thank you, Annette. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, I'm just okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Sweet Pea. Yeah,
that's the other Dead President, that Low Rada. He's the other one.
Well, maybe the Dead Presidents would like to come on your show and mine. I think that's what we need next.
Yeah. No, they're definitely going to be on my show. So I'll have to. They'll be following you now, so you can. You can set it up with them, or if you need help, I can help you out with that.
Well, I think we need to get them on both. That's what I think.
Yeah. They're definitely going to be on my show. I just, I should have already had them on because I need to help them promote their podcast, and then they can help me do the same,
Oh, so they've got a podcast too then?
Yeah. They're the ones that started with the peers as well.
Okay. Now I got it.
Yeah. I started the Thursday, and then they started the Sunday of, 3 weeks ago. So we're both relatively new to this.
It's fun when you cross promote on podcasts because people have different audiences, and you know what I'm saying? It's just nice to keep everybody in the family, but then help everybody else out at the same time too.
Oh yeah. Definitely. So when I have what I want to do when I have Serge on here is maybe send you the link as well. You can pop on for a minute.
I would love to.
Okay. So I was going to ask you if that would be cool with you.
Are you going to tell him or not?
I don't think I should. I think we ought to just have him pop
better.
in.
I think that's great.
Unless he's listening now, you know. Which is,
I doubt it.
Let me tell you something. He better be listening to my podcast.
That's funny shit.
I watch his stuff on YouTube.
He's a funny guy. He's super intelligent.
He's hilarious. He cracks me up.
Oh, he's funny.
But Annette says we need to be doing live on Facebook. But I think the MWA podcast is going to stop doing, or they already had stopped doing the on the 5th, or no, it's the 15th. I think they're going to stop doing the Facebook Live. So you just got to go to Twitch and watch it. Twitch and YouTube.
Okay, I got you.
Is that right, Preston?
Yes, that is correct, due to a discussion that has been had. We apologize to all of our Facebook viewers, but you can always find us on our Twitch. We'll have links to it every time we go live in the same places that you find it on Facebook.
Yeah. So I've been watching Piers because, you know, he's in Australia, so it's like 10 in the morning. So, you know, if I'm at work and I'm not busy, I'll click it on my phone real quick and, you know, type in something or whatever and then watch it for a few minutes.
I got it.
So it's cool. You're on Twitch too, right?
No, I don't. I know nothing about Twitch at all. I don't understand it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't either until just recently. So when I started this, you know, I downloaded Twitch on my phone and, you know, it's relatively easy to find.
Do you have followers on Twitch or how does that work?
I don't know, Preston, where you at? Tell her how it works. I'm not really sure. Yeah. I just kind of started mine.
So we have about 75 followers, I think, now, and we also are monetized on Twitch now. So there is a subscription button underneath it. You can also use your Amazon Prime to subscribe for free every month to your favorite streamer.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to get on that, Goldy.
Yeah, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to navigate the app. Once I download it, I found the MWA World podcast, and it's pretty easy. I just hit subscribe, and now and they send you like notifications, like when a show's starting, like Pierre's show starts, it'll send me notifications saying his show's starting.
So this show right now is on Twitch.
Yeah, it's on Twitch and YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I got it.
You just go to twitch.com and then you look up MWA Mike Whiskey Alpha Podcast World. Is that right, Preston?
MWA World on Twitch. So it's
World. Okay. MWA World. Okay. But
Preston, thanks for doing all this work. That's great to have you back there.
Yeah, Preston, just stay hidden though.
I liked it.
Look at that, Preston. She's marking out the Preston.
I'm marking out.
Well, Goldy, if there's nothing else you want to talk about, I'm sorry we had some technical difficulty. I guess he's trying to show it. I can't see that. Can you see it, Goldy?
Yeah, it almost looks like Discord.
Yeah, it's showing you the Twitch MWA whatever. I can't really see it on mine.
I love it. Well, I just want to thank everybody for even paying attention and for coming on and all the great comments that we had and people from Vince's brand and all of our friends over there, and just nice to meet all of Allan's people. And if I wasn't, I literally feel like I'm about to pass out. So I'm pretty glad that I made it for over an hour, even though through some technical difficulties, but love to come back on again, Allan.
Awesome.
And I think you're great. I'm a huge fan and supporter of yours. You know that.
I appreciate that, Goldy. Thanks for coming on. Even, you know, being sick, man, it means a lot that you came on here. And I'm just glad you were able to join us even when you were sick.
No, I had an absolute blast. And I'm so glad that you have all this help with all these great people.
Yeah, they're great, aren't they?
Absolutely.
All right, Goldy, well, I love you. And hopefully I'm gonna come up there to Nashville and meet Serge, and maybe me, you, and Rob can hang out.
I'll pop in. I'll pop on for sure.
Oh yeah, sounds good. All right, Goldy, thank you so much for being on here.
Preston, thank you so much, Sweet Pea.
Hey, hold on, don't go anywhere, Goldy. Do you want to say anything to Preston after the live feed?
Sure, it's fine. I'll chill.
Okay, all right.